Alright, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Now today we're going to be talking about the highly requested Edp445 documentary. Now the reason why it's highly requested is because on my old channel I used to be notorious for covering this documentary and all things around it, including Mike Klum and the drama around that at the time with Matt Simon and everything like that. And so a lot of people came to my YouTube channel to get updates every month because Mike Klum would post monthly Patreon updates for people who are willing to go to his Patreon and maybe give him a little bit of money. For the most part, he made them free. So I used to just go to his Patreon and make a video every month just going over the big updates. But it got to a point too where I started realizing the Patreon updates were getting kind of lame. It would basically be like, hey, I'm 80% done this, 60% done this. And it left a lot to be interpreted. And I think that built a lot of like false hype for the documentary to a lot of people. So he made the very wise decision and said, hey, I'm not going to be doing monthly updates. I'll do updates when something big happens, right? Because for the most part, this documentary to me and most people in my community at the time it was kind of a mess a little bit. I mean, I really like Mike Klum as a person. I think he's a really cool dude and he's a very nice guy. But I think like the documentary itself was coming out very messy to the consumer, right? To the people watching. And I remember covering it at the time. And a lot of people in my community also expressed their concern about how this documentary is going. So I think the best thing he could have done in that situation was go radio silent and then maybe start doing publicity and start doing marketing for it closer to the end of it. Now, the reason why I'm talking about the documentary again after so long is because we actually had a huge update happen on the Reddit, and someone informed me on my Discord that someone posted a screenshot on the Reddit that we are going to go over. Now, before we actually get into that, some of you guys might be confused on who Mike Klum is and why do I keep calling him by his full name, is because he's the same guy who made the Boogie 2988 documentary a few years ago that Moist Critical and a bunch of other people covered and were praising it for how good it was and how shameless it was when it came to covering, Boogie 2988's disgusting life and kind of the person he is. And so Mike Klum decided to do a huge step up, by the way, in terms of just like publicity and people, and he's doing Edp445. Now, I don't really need to give you guys a rundown on who Edp445 is. All I can say is sting operation, failed YouTuber. Right? That's pretty much sums him up in general. But his life is so interesting in terms of like a documentary setting. Now, I don't like giving EDP publicity or any sort of like hype like that. But at the same time, I feel like a documentary made about him that is shameless and covers everything would be really interesting, especially since Kayla, who was his newest victim a few years ago, she was unfortunately groomed by him, and I guess he interviewed her. He interviewed Gideon, who's the person who was involved in the sting operation, and obviously I have some very strong opinions about that whole situation that I'm not going to cover in this video, or else this video is going to be 2 hours long. But essentially he now decided to cover EDP, which is great. I mean, people are going to be very split about it because obviously it's a little bit different than just a gross fat Boogie 2988 that, yeah, is a weirdo but isn't a groomer. At least I hope he isn't. So essentially this update is very small. It's a very small update, but it does say a lot about what's happening, and it's the first bit of news we've gotten in quite a lot of time. So we have Mike Klum here sending a message to a Patreon or a patron saying, hello, I'm finalizing the credits for the Edp445 documentary. As an active paid member, your name will be included. Let me know how you'd like to be listed, full name, alias, etc. Or if you prefer not to be included. If I don't hear back, I'll otherwise just use your default Patreon name. Thanks again for your support. Now, a lot of people might be questioning, what does this mean? I mean, obviously the first thought is like, oh, if he's finalizing the credits, that must mean he's pretty close to being done. Now, again, I've learned I'm not going to jump to conclusions here and be like, oh, guys, for sure, it's 100% done. I know Mike Klum. This is him saying it's done. I actually genuinely don't know. I'm not going to say that until I actually see a trailer or until he actually posts saying, hey, guys, I'm done. Until then, we just kind of have to assume, which is kind of a dangerous thing because, again, I was assuming for the longest time, and I just said, you know what? I'm just going to wait for this documentary to come out. But a lot of people got hope from this, right, on the Reddit, and they're like, oh my god, it's coming out, holy shit, I'm gonna be so excited, when it's like, I would hold on off a little bit and just wait till he actually fully announces, because, again, this whole documentary has been kind of a shit show. If you guys don't know what I mean, I'll try to, like, maybe link a couple videos to the updates and kind of my thoughts during that time. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously exciting news, though. This is good to hear that Mike Klum's actually finalizing credits. So maybe that means that he has everyone he wants included in the documentary, because when we were talking about it, he was still interviewing certain people and still filming for the documentary. Like, I think around that time, it was the Super Bowl and the Eagles were playing. So he obviously flew out to go watch the game with EDP to document it or whatever, because obviously football is a big part of EDP's life. So from the most part, it looks like it is done, maybe. You know, you guys can't see me because I'm not using a face cam, but I'm using the parentheses or whatever. I guess we'll see, right? But yeah, if you support his Patreon or whatever, you can fucking get your name in the documentary. I'll put his Patreon in the description down below if you guys want to go directly to his Patreon yourself and maybe ask him some questions or whatever. But yeah, that's all I really want to talk about. Again, shorter video, but a lot of people have been asking me to cover this situation, and I honestly don't really have much to say about it. All I can really say is don't let this get you too excited. I've learned the hard way, and a lot of people in my community have too, that just wait till the documentary comes out, and we'll see what happens with it, because this whole situation has been absolutely crazy, right? It got leaked like 2 years ago from Boogie2988, who said like, hey guys, it's coming out this summer, and then next summer came, still in documentary, and now we're almost in next summer. So it's been like almost 3 years since, I think, or 2.5 years or something, since this documentary originally got talked about. And the reason why it was getting talked about is because EDP leaked a bunch of set photos on his Instagram, which he wasn't supposed to. As far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty sure he was under an NDA not to talk about this, but of course he had to go, oh, I loved filming with Boogie2988 and loved filming with Mike Klum and whatever, so that's why it got talked about originally. If it was up to Mike Klum, he probably would have started a Patreon, but I don't think he would have gone public with it so quickly, because that did put a lot of pressure on him. But at the same time, that's what happens when you work with lolcows and people like EDP. They're gonna be doing stupid shit like that that's going to make you have to rearrange your whole situation to make up for their stupidity. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Let me know your comments. Let me know your opinions down in the comments down below. Do you guys think this documentary is a good idea? Do you guys think that this whole situation has been fucking crazy, if you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video.